Due to extensive internal conflicts and political instability in Somalia, Somalia was designated a failed state. As a result, the average Somali earns about $500 per year. On the other hand, the average ransom is $5.4 million in 2010. And depending on the number of hijackings, Somali pirates can earn as much as $240 million per year.
When someone is hungry, he is capable of doing anything. I've been forced by the situation to become a pirate. I never wanted to become a pirate.
Most pirates around the world would usually hijack merchant vessels to sell the precious cargo. However, Somali pirates would often kidnap the ship crew and demand a ransom.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
As many of these commercial vessels are unarmed, they mainly rely on water cannons to deter pirate attacks. Pirate attacks occur hundreds of times a year and cost shipping companies between $13 to $16 billion every year. The Combined Maritime Forces is a multinational naval task force established in 2002 to provide maritime security such as counter-piracy and counter-terrorism for civilian vessels in heavily trafficked waters. CMF has 5 task forces. Headquartered in Bahrain, the overall commander of CMF is a US Navy Vice Admiral, while the deputy commander is a British Royal Navy Commodore. The command of individual task forces rotates among different participating countries every 6 months. Each task force comprises 14 or 15 ships and can be divided into multiple task groups followed by task units. Each task force also has a designated AOR, Area of Responsibility. CTF-150 is responsible for maritime security operations outside the Arabian Gulf in the Indian Ocean. These operations also include counter-terrorism and counter-narcotics operations. CTF-151 is responsible for counter-piracy operations in the Gulf of Aden and off the coast of Somalia. CTF-152 and CTF-153 are responsible for maritime security within the Persian Gulf and the Red Sea, respectively. Lastly, CTF-154 provides maritime security training in 5 core areas. Ultimately, the effectiveness of CMF is dependent on the contributions of individual countries. As CMF is a flexible organization with no required level of participation, contributions vary from country to country. Thus, when there is a deficit in force flow, in other words, insufficient CMF assets at any given time, the number of warships in the AO, Area of Operations, would be spread thin, and it is simply impossible to protect every civilian vessel in the area. Which is why some companies do hire private security to protect their vessels from pirates. And when Somali pirates are caught by coalition forces, they are immediately handed back to the local government in Somalia, which has a barely functioning legal system.
So even when you catch these people,
there's not much you can do.
Nonetheless, these CMF operations did result in a sharp decrease in Somali pirate attacks from 358 before 2016 to 8 from 2016 onwards. And there has been no successful attack since 2017. In June 2023, Iran announced its plan to form a new naval alliance with Saudi Arabia and several other countries, including the UAE, which had withdrawn from the US-led CMF in May. The US Navy responded by saying that Iran's proposed naval alliance defies reason, considering that Iran is the main destabilizer in the region.
Iran has seized a commercial ship in the transit.
The Navy released video of one of the tankers taking gunfire from the Iranians. No one was hurt, but bullets hit close to crew living spaces.
Iran has been upstarting its malign activities again, and it's going to disrupt not just our global economy, but our maritime security and awareness.
For context, Iran has a habit of seizing oil tankers in response to seizure of Iranian tankers violating international sanctions. Even the Gulf Cooperation Council (GCC) condemned Iran's destabilizing policies in the region. While Iran and Saudi Arabia have resumed diplomatic relations, both regional rivals have been engaged in a proxy war since the 1970s. However, with deteriorating relations between the US and Saudi Arabia, an Iranian-Saudi alliance isn't totally impossible. Given India and Pakistan having a history of military conflicts, it is difficult to imagine India and Pakistan being in a military alliance. Today, the US is the largest producer of oil thanks to fracking. Oil imports from the Middle East only accounts for about 12%, whereas China has become the world's largest importer of oil from the Middle East. Despite Donald Trump expressing interest to withdraw US naval forces from the Middle East, the US is not too keen on having adversary nations like China or Iran controlling the high seas. Under the current arrangements, the US and its allies can easily cut off China's oil supply should a conflict arise.